Flurries of powder skitter across a wide field of growing snowbanks. It's dusk, but there's enough fading light that I can still make out the distant, dark forest through the huge lobby windows. The lobby tonight is also huge. Clean, polished bone and ugly warped wooden accents make up most of the decoration. But veins of sickly nerves are thrust through the corners and support beams, pulsing dully around the door frames. It's all candles and neon stuck into red, throbbing, fat, and aching frames. The staircases are made of marble and bleeding scabs. Sweaty skin struggles to cover brick walls, and dentals of rotting teeth stick into receding gummy molding. I'm not even going to tell you what the ballrooms are made of. The lobby meat is smelly and pale, but seeing her brick and mortar is worse. I've never seen her like this before. The floor-to-ceiling windows stare wide and unblinking at the dark snowstorm outside, boring blue dusk finally breaking into the quiet cover of a black night encourages the wind into a full-tilt boogie. It howls outside, and I grind my teeth to keep myself from joining in. Outside. Out there. Is that where they come from? Like some speck of nothing that wheedles its way in under the skin, and everything inside gets sick and dies around it. Well, where is this guy? I ask, a little louder than I meant to. The windows rattle softly, and some clear liquid that is definitely not melted snow leaks out. What? Did he get lost? Is he dead already? Is Bobby Boy blue and bruised and buried in a snowbank out there? Do we need to drag his carcass into a room or something? Where is he? Where is anyone? I've spent the many idle hours I've had here alone to investigate every fold and crevice of the hotel tonight. I think I'm alone now. I don't know how long. I can't find the concierge. The fire and neon lights cast flickering shadows that make the hotel feel alive again, for a moment. But just a moment. They flicker out little by little, and a cold stillness follows the creeping shadows out of her dark wings. Her blood runs thick and slow now, pooling around the wooden baseboards and drippings down the ancient, bony chandelier mixed with gobs of something chewy and slimy. Foul breath wheezes through the ancient boiler, and the blood pools a little darker in her corners. Her blood shouldn't be running this thickly. Her bone looks brittle and cracked. Her stench shouldn't be this grimy. I climb up onto the front desk and rub the rough sharkskin guest book with a gloved hand. You're sick, aren't you? The hotel creaks. But if she's answering me, or it's just the wind, I don't know. The wind blows harder, and the windows shudder, and the snow piles higher and higher against the doors. Beyond her glassy eyes, battered with bitter snow and freezing over fast, is nothing at all. The forest, the freeze, the night. That's all. Empty and outside. But nothing came in from out. Robert stood us up. And whatever is happening to the hotel herself didn't come from without. Some speck flew into her eye, a fly in her ointment, and that ointment leaks putrid and vile all around me now. Oh, Aud, what did you do? I hope she's okay. I hope tonight ends and tomorrow begins and we'll be together again. All three of us. I lay down, curling up and watching the windows, waiting for Robert Watson to make his way in through the blizzard outside. But it's getting colder, and the hotel is getting worse. And I don't know anymore for whom the front desk bell dings.
The hotel looks old and big. I can't really see it through all the wind and snow. I hold my hand up, trying to see clearly. I thought I saw the owner standing high above us in the storm, but no, he's still ahead of us, cutting a path through the icy powder. My manager is I can't see her. Ahead or behind. I can't even see how close to the hotel we're getting. The wind is whirling flurries of snow into my face, and now I can't see the owner or the forest or anything. I slip and fall, face first, into the snow. I stop breathing, either from the cold or from dread. My panicked thoughts are not visions from my past or regrets from my future. There is only the thoughtless panic of getting separated forever in whatever place this is. I claw my way up through the snow, and I hope I can scream loudly enough that my manager will hear me over the wind. The big glass door swings closed with a loud knock behind me. The owner grabs me by the arm and shoulder to hold me steady until I find my footing. In the lobby. This one is old. Buildings bent and broken and stitched together. Concrete and pale flesh. And heavy, heavy wood. Something's old bones hang from the ceiling, caked with mealy meat. It stinks in here. The manager stares at the wall behind the front desk with a faraway look in her eye. Water leaks down from the ceiling, warping the faded wall. Paper. No. Not water. Sweat. Sweat drips down the sagging walls and mixes with the small pools of dark blood on the floor. The door frames are red and irritated, and all the hinges are scabbing over. I poke a bubble in the paper on the wall, and when it pops, something yellow and putrid oozes out. A groan from deep inside her bounces off 100 hidden hallways. The manager reaches very slowly for the now open wound under the oozing bubble. She pinches the skin hanging off the hotel's walls firmly between her thumb and forefinger and pulls it down slow. This time, the whole building shakes. She doesn't stop until she gets to the floor. Blood oozes out and onto the baseboard, and she grabs another strip, working it gently until she needs both hands, and pulls again, slower. Blood pours more freely now. She's trembling violently as the manager peels her way to the floor again. The wind begins to switch. The hotel starts to pitch. And suddenly the scabby hinges start to unhitch. The bones hanging from the ceiling rattle together, and in some nearby bar, all the bottles fall off the shelves and shatter. I clap my hands together and let out a barbaric yawp that echoes over every roof of the hotel. The owner even slaps me on the back, nodding with satisfaction at her gory retribution. But the manager flexes her fists and hunches her shoulders, and the wind blows a little colder outside. Spit flies from between her teeth as her breath starts coming out in rags. And she smiles. She's terrifying. This must be how she looks to the guests. This must be how the guests feel once they realize. I step back without thinking, eyes wide. It's unsettling. And whatever blood runs through me runs through cold. I've never seen her like this before. Her hands seem to move on their own now, smooth and steady. They leave deep grooves in the private office door when she rips it off the crusty hinges. I barely have time to pull the owner out of the way before it hits the glass lobby door behind us, and they both shatter into 1,000
impossible pieces. She warbles a guttural bellow as the hotel rumbles and groans. She moves through the lobby with frightening speed. Every scratch bleeds, every hit bruises, and by the time she's torn the supply closet door off its frame and smashed it against the front desk, I can't distinguish her screams from the bellowing of the building itself. In her frenzy, she bites and gnashes at the hotel until doorknobs and window frames aren't enough anymore. She scrapes and claws at everything around her until she screams and beats her own bloody head with her hands as her fury looks for something fresh to destroy. I grab her shoulder softly but firmly, and she turns, snarling, her savagery eagerly seeking its next guest. I quickly pull my hand back and step away, keeping both my hands up and out. Hers are twisted at me, arms bent, ready to ride more violence. Her pupils are tiny, and her breath comes out hot through her terrible smile. She scrabbles past me, over the broken tile and blood and neon and bone scattered across the lobby, to the pile of dark, heavy wood that used to be the front desk. Ignoring the deep, bleeding cuts in her arm, she thrusts it firmly into the jagged wood.
The guest book is undamaged and pristine when I yank it out. My bloody fingertips leave smudgy evidence across her coarse face, proof that I was here. I leaf gently through her gilded pages, gently as I can, gently as something like me could possibly know how, and leave my red fingerprints all over her. I leave my mark across countless signatures. All sizes and swoops cover her pages to the very edges. She's been filled, covered a sharkskin cover, with the names of the dead and soon to die. I stop at the lipstick kiss. I press my thumb to it roughly, smearing it. I ball the page up in my fist and tear it out. Then the next, and the next. My breath comes back in hissing waves, and I'm holding my jaw so tightly I feel a tooth crack, but I don't slow. The pages come out faster and faster, ripped and crumbled and whimpering at my feet. My lobby boy laughs and claps now. He understands.
I understand now. The owner stomps across the lobby and stuffs his own hand into the rubble. He yanks out the desk bell. It looks so small in his hand. Through the dust and blood and paper and over my giddy laughter and the roaring building and hissing manager, you can still just make out the bell tolling. A silent whine, screaming quietly just beneath the roar. With his sneering smile, he crushes it in his fist. In that moment, we saw each other clearly. We saw everything clearly. And it was the end of everything. The bell, the building, the book, and the staff. All fall silent.
The Hotel Podcast was created by Veronica, California and Mark Whitten. Produced by Veronica, California and Jay and Ibis. Written by Veronica, California. The manager is Kelly Nienaltowski. The lobby boy is Mark Whitten. The owner is Graham Rowat. The bellhop is Rissa Montañez. The concierge is Damon Alums. The auditor is Bailey Wolfe. And Christa Lewis. Music by Lauren Picorni and West Rodri. Special guest composer Zach Tatom-Drake. Art direction by Izzy Filthy Guts Chavez. Staff writer Lily Bensinger. Associate producers Mark Whitten and Pacific Obadiah.
The glass is warm. I feel like I can almost push my face through it. I imagine it tearing open with a quiet sigh. I could pass through the window and float across the desert. Across the sand dotted with brush and rock, past the giant crags and plateaus over the dunes. We can almost see the edge of the sky. But those pillars of fire and dust march to and fro there, keeping us in, keeping something out. Dry lightning flashes in the clear sky. The sound rumbles across the desert, not quite keeping pace with the train. This stupid train. I don't know how long I've been staring out the window for. Sometimes it's dark, and in the moonlight I can only see bright shadows that my eyes twist into terrifying lies. Sometimes it's so bright, there isn't anything to see but a big white blur. I don't remember the sun ever setting or rising here, but always it is dry and hot and awful, and I can't tell if it's deathly quiet or choking on the sound of the howling wind and hollering horrors. Sometimes I catch glimpses of them. Movement, shadow, creatures. I keep watch. Keep looking. No matter how unsettling the view may be, anything is better than looking at this awful train. This car has fancy wood booth seats, all facing the big domed windows on either side. Gold rails and little felt cup holders. It's got no meat on its bones. And no bones at all. It's just a train. The concierge is on the other side, watching the wind blow over this strange place. He tries to hide how nervous he is, but I can tell. Small buildings drone by sometimes. Concrete shacks with 4 walls and most of a ceiling, and hollow black holes where their doors or windows used to be. Sometimes their dusty windows are all miraculously unbroken. Mostly not. Sometimes they have signs or words painted on them. I wouldn't dare try to read them. Dead husks. Dead husks. Whatever was inside them that made them special is long gone. More and more of these dead buildings blur by. By the time I noticed, there are dozens of them, rotting together like tombstones in a graveyard. I turn my face against the warm glass. Hazy forms tower in the distance. I jump out of my seat so fast I startle the concierge out of his thoughts. He calls after me as I run to the next car, but I ignore him. The windows in this car are all blocked by luggage and crates, so I keep moving. The next one is nice and cold with benches on either end. I push my face into the window, but a familiar voice warns me to please stand clear of the doors in 2 languages. I keep moving, grabbing the poles in the middle of the car as I wind my way through them. The next car was a huge shipping container, dark and hot. Then one loaded with sleeping pods, each with its own tiny round window. And locked doors. Rats. It wasn't until I got to a car with bloody hay covering the floor and caged windows that I could get a good look. I hopped up and stuck my face as far as I could through the bars. The sand stings. The wind is so loud. I can't believe how much faster we're going than I thought. The concierge bursts in behind me and shouts something at me, but I can't hear him. I can only hear the wind howling through the streets of the approaching dead city.
Is that where we're going?
I shout over the wind. Concierge jumps up and joins me, grabbing onto the bars with one hand and squinting through his glasses. But he doesn't say anything.